Welcome to the greatest video you will ever watch in 2026. By the end of this video, you guys will have everything you need to go absolutely crazy with YouTube Shorts and just change your whole life, honestly. Change your whole life, learn something along the way, and we're going to have some great conversation. So let me give you a little preview of what we're doing. This is the whiteboard that I've built. I've spent honestly weeks working on this here and there. Don't want to show too much. We're gonna get into it, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking for something like this. This is gonna be completely free, just a full guide. Any information and everything I can share with you guys, I will. It'll probably be an hour-long video, but I don't think that's really a long time if you are truly serious about changing your life and actually learning something. Okay. So I'd really appreciate if you guys can go ahead and drop a like. This is going to be super fun. I'm super hyped. I'm not going to edit this at all. I'm not going to try to make this guide like, the most retention worthy, super edited. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to edit it at all. I'm going to take it one shot, one flow. Just be honest with you guys, and we're going to have a good conversation. I set the vibe green. So let's get into it. So by the end of this, okay, you're going to know everything you need to know about YouTube Shorts. You'll have enough information to go and actually start your channel, because the most important thing is taking action. If you watch this video and you do nothing about it, then your life will not change, okay? And then lastly, which is something that's very big for me and something that has helped me get to where I am today, which is my mindset. So by the end of this, I'm going to help you guys change your mindset and your perspective a little bit. And as a result of you doing that, you will start to change your life. And I've experienced this firsthand, okay? YouTube isn't the only place, or the first place, matter of fact, where I've had some sort of success. I've also been able to make over 6 figures through sales, okay? Sales is something I've been doing for 5 years now. So the fact that I was able to achieve success in both really goes to show that who I am as a person is the commonality between those two different business ventures. And that's why it's so important to be the right person. And then ultimately you'll get the success. Anyways, I don't want to get into that too much. And at the end, there will be a little surprise. Honestly, it's a big surprise. I don't know why I put little. So I definitely recommend you guys watch till the end. Now anyways, and I also didn't want to show you guys, for the by the end of this, like my results, or just, I guess a lot of people just show like insane stuff and stuff that's a little unrealistic to some extent. Like, if somebody else, some guy who's been doing YouTube for 6 years shows you he made $1 million last year, I'm not going to lie to you. You probably won't be able to do that by the end of this. So what I decided was to show you guys some recent wins from members of the of my private community, which is the Winner's Circle. These are all wins within the last 30 days. Some of the wins, there's more, but I took some of the best ones. And I'm going to quickly skim through them, but I just want you guys to know these are people just like you. They're in my private community. A lot of them are beginners, okay? So that's why you guys might see the wins and you're like, oh, okay, this guy, he only made, 1K in his first 3 weeks monetized. His first 3 weeks, he's already made a K, bro. People work, hours, full-time jobs to make that in like 2 weeks. And he was able to do that doing something he genuinely loves, okay? So anyways, gonna go over some wins. Shout out to Diddler as well. He's using all the skills he learned with YouTube and now applying it with a little twist into dropshipping, and he's been absolutely cooking. As you can see, he's averaging 4 to 5K a day. Tenty was able to get his plaque. Ro was able to get 3 channels monetized within the past few months. Effie, he's been in the community for a long time, and in the starting, complete, very new beginner, and now bro's doing over 2 million views per short, which it's insane, bro. Just seeing somebody's progress it's crazy. Floss as well, bro. He literally just, the speed of progression he had, I would say. Sorry, I was just trying to find the right word. Was insane to me. Nonetheless, here's just some wins. If you want to pause, you can have a look at them. But I just wanted to show you guys, not my wins, but people that are actually, doing this. People that are in my community actually getting results. People just like you. Complete beginners, okay? Anyways, now let's get straight into it. Before we go into the actual information, I want you guys to know a little bit more about who I am as a person. I guess I've never went into this much detail. So this is young me. I was always a big fan of soccer. I wanted to be the next Messi when I was a kid. But, one day I woke up when I was like 16 or 17. Okay, ignore that. And I just decided that, I don't know, I just didn't want to play soccer anymore. I don't know what happened. My whole life I wanted to play soccer and I just didn't want to. Anyways, fast forward, I found my passion for YouTube very early. Like, actually, before I even played soccer, honestly, when I was like 12 or 13, I started to post like vlogs and just random videos on YouTube because the idea of it was so cool. And I actually went in my camera roll and I tried to find some screenshots from back in the day. And I mean, look at this. I started posting on YouTube in 2015. Crazy. It's been over a decade. This is a like Fortnite channel that I had back in the day. And yeah, just seeing these results was kind of nostalgic. Back in the day, this was huge. I was a kid. I was what, 13, 14 years old. And, even just doing this was a dream come true, honestly. This is my first channel getting monetized around May 13th, 2020. Crazy, 6 years ago. Anyways, again, like I said, sales was always my thing. This is a picture for me. I'm working my first ever sales job, which actually was the reason I fell in love with sales, because I got to realize that, hey, you know, whatever everybody says in this world is not true. The amount of money you make is not tied to how long you work. It is tied to who you are and the skills you have. And this job, I was 18. I was the youngest person. I was hired. There's 10 people that came to the interview. I was the only one that got hired, and I was the least qualified and the youngest. And the managers there hired me because they saw me, they saw my passion, they saw who I was. And to be honest with you guys, I talked about YouTube and my big dreams and aspirations. And I don't know, based on that, they hired me. And honestly, I would say they made a pretty good investment, because I ended up setting a record of sales in that year at that store. And I don't think to this day anybody's broken it. And I was able to make over like around 10K that month in December. I think it was 2022. And that changed my whole perspective on money, right? Like, dude, I was able to do that because of me, because of who I was. Not everybody did that. Only I did that because I worked my ass off. I got really good at this one skill, and just seeing that money firsthand changed my whole perspective. And anyways, after all that, I rewarded myself with my first ever car, which was a 2014 BMW 335i Valencia orange. I still miss this car to this day. It was, you know, it was a great milestone, to say the least. I'm a very big believer of, you know, setting goals and achieving them, and also rewarding yourself, right? Like, there's no point of making money working so hard if that's all you're gonna do. And it's a big shift I've had in my life, and throughout my life, I've noticed that, you know, like these rewards have pushed me to do better and better, and you'll see that as my car journey also progresses. But anyways, that was my car. After that, like I said, sales, you know, I love sales now, but I had to leave this job because of school and whatnot. So then after that, in the summer of 2024, I started doing door to door. I was literally knocking doors every single day, full commission sales. Long story short, I switched from door to door after 2 months, bro. Like, you know, 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. just knocking doors. Like, it is not easy. If you've knocked doors, you know how hard it is. And then I switched to the outbound calling. So it was, instead of knocking, I was calling. And that's where my life truly changed. And that's where I really realized, like, holy shit, sales is crazy. First 3 months of me doing that, I made over probably 30 to 40K in 3 months of doing something I enjoy, while not really working too hard, just working smart, because I've done the work hard part, right? I've learned the skills, and then I was just applying them over the phone. Think about how easy it is to call instead of, you know, go door to door to door. Calling is just like boom. So anyways, while all that was happening, I never left my passion for YouTube, which brings me to the Ranking Mamba. Now, I know a lot of you guys watching this know this channel. This channel was my first ever successful faceless YouTube shorts channel, and I documented the whole progress of this channel from the day I created it to the day I got it to 100,000, and to the day I made over $10,000 in a month with this channel. Those videos are still on the channel you guys are watching, my main YouTube. Go back like 10 months, go back a year. You'll still see videos about this channel. Unfortunately, it was falsely terminated. I didn't know too much. I didn't know better. I did make some silly mistakes. I didn't do anything wrong. It was falsely terminated. I tried to get it back. I haven't been able to get it back till this day. However, losing this channel was actually the reason I was able to achieve what I was able to achieve after that, and the reason I'm in this position today. So in a way, now I look back, I'm grateful that I lost this channel, because it forced me to become the person I am today. Anyways, you know, alongside my sales venture, YouTube starting to do amazing. That led me to buying my next car, which is my Audi S5. It's an amazing car. I also don't have this right now. I definitely miss it. And also gave me the freedom to start traveling and just enjoying life. You know, at the end of the day, I know all you guys watching this, or a lot of you guys watching this, want the same things as me. We're so much more similar than we are different. And a lot of people forget that. In you know, online, there's so much hate, there's so much negativity, there's so much just bad vibes. But at the end of the day, people forget that all of us are ultimately working toward the same thing. We want to give our family a better life. We want to live a better life. We want to have financial freedom. We want to have time freedom. We want to travel. We want to do all these great things. That's why personally, you know, I'm away from all that negativity, because it will not get me closer to my goals. But ultimately, you know, I can't help other people stop it. If that's who they are, then that's who they are. But my point is, you know, I was able to do the things that I, as a kid, once used to dream of. Oh, there's another back picture. You know, it's a beautiful car, man. I genuinely miss it. But anyways, yeah, this is my trip to Turkey last year. Then I got a all expenses paid trip to Mexico, Cabo, because of my performance in my sales position. Again, another pretty cool experience, you know, just being able to travel and get a trip for free. I don't mind. Anyways, things start to do really, really great, especially when it comes to YouTube and just my journey. I'm a pretty, I guess, what's it called? Financially smart person. But I'm also a very big degenerate. It's very weird. Like, I'm very good at saving and investing, but I'm also a big believer of, like I said, forcing and pushing yourself to new limits. So, anyways, fast forward after this, you know, after I came back from this trip, This is last year, actually. This was in August of 2025. I bought my BMW M340i, and this is me going to get the car, signing the papers. It's such a surreal moment. Um, like just working so hard my whole life for a moment like this, being there all by myself, signing those papers, and like, doing that, bro. Like, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so proud of myself now looking at this and like, dude, I know that like, even to this day, I'm so focused on the next goals and the next car and the next everything. You sometimes forget to see how far you've came. This is actually pretty crazy. Now that I'm thinking about this, I mean, just if you just go back a few pictures, bro, this version of me would be so happy, bro. All this version wanted was this, okay? And all this version wanted was this. So I have to remember that, and you guys should too. You guys should always look at how far you've come. Anyways, was able to buy this car last year. Went to Mexico with my friends. It was an amazing trip. I was forced to go on a zip line across the jungle. Absolutely shit my pants, but it was fun, and I'm less scared now. We got scooters, drove across the island, and I'm able to print money, just from my phone now. It's crazy to say the least that my life has fully changed. I mean, this is one channel. Think about that. Over 5 figures off one channel. Like, it's insane, bro. The potential, the opportunity has never been greater. Then on my birthday, I did this cool experience where I was able to drive different supercars like McLaren, Lambo, Ferrari, just a bunch of other cars. It was pretty cool. We got to go on a drive. I got to test all these different cars, actually sit in them, experience it. I want to feel it because I know I'm so close. Anyways, this is a pretty recent picture of my car, how it currently looks. I was able to do some cool stuff over the past few months. Got DRLs, carbon stuff. Anyways, we're already 11 minutes into it. We haven't even started. That's who I am. Okay, and here we are today. Today I'm currently living the life I used to always dream of. I decided to, go back to finish my last semester of university. So I have like just 2 months left, and I'm gonna graduate because of my mom. It was always her dream to see her son graduate. Be done with school, and I've already spent tens of thousands of dollars into it. So I was like, you know what? I have this time freedom now. I don't have to financially worry about anything. So I might as well finish. I have to go 2 days a week. I'll get it done in 2 months, and I can give my mom the paper, make her proud. That's her dream. So I'm finishing my school. I'm obviously super locked in. I've never been more locked in into YouTube, my business, and just growing and taking myself to the next level. I'm currently doing the 75 hard along with some other people in my community. And I've been so dialed in into my community as well, just helping everybody else level up their life. So I'm truly happy to say I'm living the life that I used to dream of. Being able to make multiple 5 figures every single month by not doing as much work as I once used to do, by just setting systems in place. It's just crazy, bro. It is crazy how, now I'm just looking at these pictures, but like just how much can change. Just if you decide to take action. So that's where my life's at. I'm focused on growing the winner circle, finishing my last semester, growing and going all in to YouTube Shorts. And let's get into it, bro. Let's get straight into the actual information. So, what even is YouTube Shorts? A lot of you guys watching this might not even know what it is. It's basically vertical, the straight short form content similar to TikToks and Instagram Reels. On YouTube, you can upload videos up to 3 minutes long, but on average, you'll see that shorts are like 30 to 40 seconds, maybe even like 20 to 30 seconds. They're typically fast paced, they're unique, and they're very creative, right? Like, you can get very creative with short form content because you have more like flexibility, and the content isn't as long, so you just have to put a lot of effort for a very short clip, which means you could be very creative with it, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, it's the future of the world. I guess like humans are just having shorter and shorter time spans. We're getting impatient. That's why TikTok is the biggest social media platform. That's why YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels are getting billions of views every single month, right? It's ultimately where things are going. That's why advertisers are now also using these platforms and running ads on them and making trillions of dollars through them. And again, I just think since TikTok is so big, naturally YouTube Shorts, is so big, but the opportunity to make money on YouTube has always been the best. And to this day, it is. So in my opinion, short form content, YouTube Shorts is the future of where advertising, money, everything is going. So our job is just to get in the flow of money, right? There's trillions of dollars being spent and earned on this app, these platforms every single year. We just have to get in there and take a little pie. So that's a little piece of the pie. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, why is YouTube Shorts the best business model of 2026? So these are my reasonings. Everything I say in this video is my opinion, my perspective, whatever. If you don't agree with it, that's okay. This is just, from my experience. So why I think it's the best business model, you can start from literally zero, right? You don't need anything to start. You can start from nothing. You can spend nothing at all. You can still build a business that pays you while you sleep, right? That's the beautiful part about YouTube, is that views are, there's views all the time, right? Like 24/7. you're getting views. And as long as you're getting views, if your channel is monetized, you're making money. It's fast, it's simple, and has the biggest upside, which you can literally reach billions of people, right? You can reach the whole world. And you don't need to show your face, use your voice, or invest into any expensive equipment. There's people that I know in my community that are using their phones and are still monetized or able to get monetized and make money, which is crazy. In my opinion, all you need is two things, very important, is consistency and the right system. Being consistent in doing the wrong thing will not get you the result. Okay, but being consistent while doing the right thing will get you exactly where you want to go. So next, let's follow these arrows. These arrows are so fun. Like when I was making this, it was pretty cool. So I kind of split this up into 3 parts. I wanted to make like a cool big thing. So we're on the foundation, which is part number 1. So let's follow the arrow. So number 1, picking a niche. What is a niche? Okay, so I guess I wrote these in, question forms, and I'm going to basically answer them to give you guys the answers because these are questions that you guys have. So what is a niche? A niche is basically like a category, right? So there's a gaming niche, there's ranking niche, which you guys might, you might have seen that. There's commentary niche. It's basically like a category, or like a topic about a video. Okay. So the most popular niches are ranking, right? Commentary and gaming. Those are actually the 3 most popular niches. Now, what is a good niche? This is a very important question. There's so many different metrics to a good niche, but my personal belief of a good niche, or I guess a good channel that you find in a specific niche, okay, is something that is super viral, right? You don't want something that's like a super small niche, like for example, I don't know, if it's about like a super small game that has like 10,000 players every month, that's not a good niche, right? A good niche could be something that could reach millions and billions of people. So commentary and ranking, for example, like you can reach the whole world, right? You want to have something that can reach the whole world, okay? Something that is monetizable, right? You don't want to go into like a movie niche where you just upload movie clips and then, you're not able to get monetized or make money. So something that is monetizable. And I guess this would be personal, but something that you can create good content in. And don't worry, your content, your skills will get better as time goes on. But if I'm looking for a good niche, those are things I look for, okay? Something that's super viral, right? Something that can be monetized and something that I could do really well in. Those are my metrics for like a good niche per se. How do you find a good niche? Now, there's multiple ways to do this. The easiest and the best way, in my opinion, is you go to incognito, you go to YouTube, you go to shorts, and you just scroll. And anytime you see a channel that matches those criteria, right? Something that is, and of course, sorry, I forgot to mention this. And of course, something that is faceless and it doesn't require like your voice or anything, right? I mean, nowadays you can use AI for everything, for the voice, and then no face. We want something that's faceless so we can eventually delegate it and get editors to create it so you can be hands off the business. That's the point, right? Now, how do you find a good niche? You go to YouTube, you go to shorts, you go to incognito, and now you just scroll. You just scroll on the incognito tab. And I've found almost all my good niches through doing that. It is crazy. It's so simple. It's so free. It just takes time to do it. So just scroll. Anytime you come across a channel that's like half decent, open it in a new tab. In incognito, since you're not signed in, you can't subscribe. So how do you tell the algorithm that, hey, I like this content, I want to see more? You actually open it in a new tab. That is YouTube. Like, you're still engaging with YouTube. And when you start to open, like, let's say you come across a ranking channel, you open it in a new tab. You come across a Roblox channel doing really good, you open it in a new tab. You're going to start getting recommended more of these similar types of channels and I guess channels in the same sort of niches. And ultimately, you'll come across a really good channel that's in a really good niche, and that's the one you should go with. Now, there's also sub niches. Again, I don't want to get too in complex detail with this, but for example, just general ranking videos, like ranking the funniest baby moments. That could be a good niche, right? But there's specific sub niches. So for example, if you like the NBA, you could do like ranking the best LeBron James moments, ranking the best Curry 3-pointers. Again, I'm just an example, but that's a sub niche, right? Your niche is ranking, but your sub niche is NBA. Okay. And now the most important step is when you do find a good niche, you want to research the niche. Okay. So if you find a good channel in a specific niche, you want to actually research that niche. If it's just that one channel that's doing good and everybody else is doing bad, it's probably not a good niche, right? You want to find something where it's repeatable. There's a lot of people that are doing pretty good in it. There's newer channels. That's something you want to look out for. I think I'm going to talk about channels later. But when you're researching the niche, what I want you guys to do is make a list of competitors, okay? So this list can have, let's say, five to six channels of people that are doing super well in that niche. And now basically, here we go. What are good competitors and what are good channels? When I'm looking for good competitors in a specific niche, I try to look for channels that have very little uploads. So let's say 10 or 20 uploads, but they're doing a mass amount of views and have a decent sub count. Sub count actually isn't that important because, you know, in certain niches, there's like CTAs where people essentially have a lot of subscribers, but they're not getting a lot of views. But remember, you get paid for views, okay? So anyways, you want to look for something that's maybe averaging like 500K to a million plus, or they have a bunch of outliers, maybe like a bunch of shorts that have like 2 mil, 3 mil, 5 mil views. And you want to look for something that's a new channel because that means it's something that's currently trending and currently going viral, right? So we don't want to find something that last year some guy, you know, went crazy with it and now his channel's dead, right? Or somebody who's been uploading for like 2 years and now they're doing millions per video because, you know, we're trying to find the best niche right now. So in that list, you want to find a bunch of channels in that niche that you found, right, that are currently actively going viral and doing really well. And again, the newer the channel, the better. Now, another way to find a good niche is using a tool. There's a bunch of different tools nowadays when it comes to YouTube. The tool that I've been using and the tool that I think would be the best if you're starting out is Verlo. Essentially, it's the same thing. They have a bunch of different features now where you can actually generate videos and scripts and everything like that. I haven't tested that too much myself, but they have a section that they've had for the past like year, and it's called outliers. So an outlier is a video, for example, on a channel that's averaging 100K. If a video gets a million, that video is an outlier, right? Like if these are 10 videos with 100,000 views, and this one video has a million, this guy's the outlier. So essentially, they have a feature called the outliers, and then they'll show you a bunch of like just a bunch of shorts that are all outliers from different channels. So instead of scrolling on incognito, you can just scroll on Verlo in the outliers tab, and you'll just find more channels that are like, I guess, going crazy. And you can scroll, like it shows you 5 shorts at once instead of like one by one. Again, it's not needed. But if you guys, you know, do have that disposable income and you kind of want to speed up the process, Verlo is a good tool, and they have other like cool features as well. So if you are interested, I think I'll leave the link for that. I think if you guys use Ronick10, you get 10% off that, which is cool. So, you know, if you're watching this and you want to use that, I'll leave the link for that in my bio. But again, the easiest and best way to do it for completely free is just go to incognito and scroll that way. Okay. Let's go to step 2. Okay, it's gonna be a long video. I should probably not speak that fast and get hydrated. Now, creating a channel. A lot of you guys that are beginners completely overthink this step and just overcomplicate it, waste too much time on it. Dude, like the people that are actively doing really well with YouTube, you can ask any of them. They spend 5 minutes on creating a channel. It's not a big deal. Okay, how do you brand a channel? Name, banner, and profile picture. Keep it simple. Literally, there's no point of overcomplicating this. Long form is a different story. With shorts, the main thing is your content, okay? It doesn't matter. You can see there's channels that use fully AI generated, banners, profile pictures, and like the dumbest names, and they're still getting millions of views, which means they're making thousands of dollars, right? So I like to keep it super simple. Literally, like if you're doing like, you know, ranking, if you're doing ranking content, you can do like, you look around your room, you'll see like, okay, I see a candle right there. My channel name, I'll try to see if it's available. The ranking candle. If it's available, cool. Either I'll go to, you know, Google, or I'll just ask ChatGPT, hey, I made this channel. Can you generate me a cool candle profile picture? Bang. And banner, you don't even need, but if you do, just go to Canva, or you can even ask, you know, ChatGPT or Google VO3. Keep it simple. Keep it super quick. It's literally not a big deal. It's not gonna impact your views, and it's something you can deal with later on, anyways. Okay, it's not gonna make a difference in the starting. Now, age channel. This is a very, very popular thing as well. Should you use an age channel or a brand new channel? Now, in my opinion, I think it is better to use an aged channel, which means something that has been created or been on YouTube for a long time. And a lot of you guys, or all of you guys, should have an aged channel, right? I mean, if you're watching this video right now, the channel you're watching on, you probably created a couple years ago, right? Just to watch content. That channel is an aged channel. The reason people say and why it's good to use an aged channel is because you have that trust with YouTube, right? Nowadays, there's so much AI, so much automation, and like YouTube's been trying to obviously avoid, you know, letting people like spam posts and fake accounts and all this stuff, because it's so easy to create. You can create unlimited Google accounts. So with an age channel, you're just telling YouTube that, hey, I'm actually a human. I've been using your platform. You know, I've been engaging with content. I'm a real person. And then you know, your videos get pushed. Now, I have tested just starting brand new channels, actually warming them up, and then posting with it, and I've had success with that as well. So it's you can still create a new channel. It's no stress if you don't have an age channel. Then you can create a brand new channel, warm it up for like a day, couple of hours, and then post on it. But if you do have one, which you guys should, it's better to start with that. But as you'll understand, as you upload more and create more channels, you'll eventually run out of channels, so you'll have to create new channels. And if you are in the winner circle, I do have a video on how to properly warm up a channel, like exactly breaking it down. But to sum it up, when you warm up a channel, you create a brand new email, you create a brand new YouTube channel, and then you want to determine your niche before you create that channel, right? So if you know that you're going to be doing again, we'll just take ranking because it's easy. If you know you're going to be doing ranking, when you create the channel, you should already be able to brand it. And then what I want you to do is probably for like 6 to 8 hours, just warm it up. So that means go to YouTube, search up ranking videos, scroll through a bunch of shorts, like them, comment, subscribe with ranking channels, and just be a human, right? Be like a normal user of the platform. And you could even go to like ranking like a long form ranking compilation that's like 2 hours and just let it play fully. Okay. And then lastly, and then after that you can post after 8 hours, and then I would post once a day for once every 24 hours. And usually after 2 to 3, like your first 2 videos get pushed, but a lot of times the third video might not get pushed. It's very common. Okay, because that's when YouTube determines that based on whatever happened in that time period, because again, they look at thousands of pieces of data. So whatever, based on whatever they analyze, that this person's a robot or whatever, and they don't continue to push it out. Sometimes it's because your content might not be transformative enough. Maybe if you're like not editing it enough and just re-uploading stuff. Sometimes it might just be due to other factors, like I said, that we don't know. But again, based on my community's experience, about 75% of the channels that are brand new created and warmed up like that, they're good to go. They work. Okay. Then what settings to fix? This will kind of help with the warm up channel. So when you create a brand new account, again, people overthink this so much. What I would do is pick a country of residence. This is not going to matter if you're in India and you want to reach a US audience. Choosing your country as India will not essentially make a difference. If you're uploading straight like US, like if you're uploading content about like Trump, like fully English commentary, in the starting it might be a little like what's it called? In the starting, like I've noticed that, they might test like a local audience, or then, you might reach more local viewers. That's just based on what some people have experienced, but with enough time, right? Like literally within a week or 2 weeks, as long as you're uploading content tailored to the US audience, you're gonna get US viewers. That's just how it works, right? Even for me, some channels I run, I have a complete third world audience, like the top 5 countries on that one channel. There's no Canada, no US or anything, but my residence on that channel is Canada. So it doesn't matter what you put there, but it's good to put something there because again, you're just telling YouTube, you're trying to give YouTube more signs that, hey, I'm a human. Other than that, what I would do is make sure you just put the channel set for not for kids. And if you do have, I would say, okay, if it's a brand new channel, I would wait to verify it. I know a lot of people would verify it faster, but I've noticed that like when I've warmed up new channels and used them, even without completely verifying it, I've been able to get channels that have just been good and working. And then after like a week or 2, I just verify them. The reason I say this is because you can only use your number twice per year to verify a channel. So, if you don't have that many numbers or access to that many numbers, and, you verify it and then the channel just gets shadow banned or flopped, then it's a little bit of a hassle. But, if you have an age channel and you haven't verified, do the number verification and the face verification. That will get you the full advanced features. Again, just verifying you're a human and getting access to like related videos and stuff, which will help you with posting. That's basically all, I guess, for this section. Okay. Next, how to post properly. Just answering again a few questions. What time to post? Now, this is again for some reason a very big like question that people ask all the time, especially on my TikTok, bro. Like, what time should I post? What time do you post? Is there a specific time? With every channel, there's a different time. I run a bunch of channels and I don't have one time that I post on all of them. I just post differently based on what time just worked for that channel or what time I've been consistent with. I don't say there's a specific time, but I do say to stay consistent with the time you pick. So some channels I'll post at 10 a.m. Some channels I'll post at 2 a.m. Right? But whatever that time I decide, I just stick with it. Now in the starting, if you want to test different timings, you can do that, right? But once you see that, okay, let's say this whole week, every day, today you post at 10 a.m., tomorrow you post at 11, let's say the next day you post at 12, and then the 11 a.m. day was the best day. Just stick with 11 a.m. Don't overcomplicate it. I don't think it matters, in my opinion, in my experience. I don't think the time matters. It's not going to change how viral your video goes. But what I do think is important is being consistent, okay? Again, another one, schedule or not. A lot of people have said, like, when they schedule videos, they don't perform well. Some people have said when they public it, they don't perform well. Some people said it doesn't matter. In my opinion, again, I'm going to say it's neutral. It doesn't matter. Sometimes, if I just create a short and it's a time to post it, I'll just post it. But a lot of times, like I said, since I might not be here on my PC or I have my editor scheduling it or something, then they'll schedule it. And we like to be ahead on a lot of channels. So, I don't think it matters in my opinion, but yeah, I honestly, I genuinely don't think it matters. If you like to be ahead, you can schedule it, but I think it's okay to just post it as well, right? Like, just get ready, click post when it's time, and that's cool. Title, description, and tags. Once again, something that, in my opinion, doesn't matter. So when it comes to your title, just keep it simple. I know back in a couple months ago, the hashtag glitch thing was going super viral. Maybe some people are still doing it. I don't recommend it. It cooks your channel, ruins your audience. Just stick with a title that makes sense. If you're doing ranking, literally put the title. So if it's ranking the best baby moments, then the title can just be ranking the best baby moments and then like an emoji. Description as well. This all depends on your niche as well and your type of content. But what I'll say for this section and what I do, just look at your competitors. Look at your competitors that are doing well. Look at what they're putting in their title description and do that. And literally, like barely anybody puts anything in the tag section for shorts, because again, shorts are a little bit different. The shorts feed works a little bit differently, so it's not that relevant. But for your channel tags, you can put something, right? Like in the settings, you can put your channel tags as like ranking if you're doing ranking. But for title description, literally what I do and what makes the most sense is just look at your competitors and don't overthink it. It doesn't matter. There's people that put the dumbest things in their title and get millions of views, and there's people that will try hard the description and then get no views. Okay, so now that we've answered a bunch, I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, man. Genuinely, or at least learning something. Anything. If you take something away from this video, it's worth you watching it, right? Anyways, let's go to part 2. Laying bricks. I probably should have, done this and like recorded this in different sections, but I wanted to just go one flow because I think it's more cooler that way. That's it. More aura. Okay. Anyways, laying bricks. You see what I did here? The foundation of the house. Now we're laying bricks. Okay. So part 1. Creating the content. Okay, now this is important. Now that you know how to make a channel, what time to post, all that, and what niches are, you still need to create content. Okay, so how to create content, how to basically edit, and understanding good and bad content. And the 3% method. That's what we're going to talk about here. So how do you create content? Now, it depends on your niche, okay? If you're doing like a gaming niche, for example, with Roblox, which is very popular right now, and something that I've seen a lot of success with, success with, you do essentially have to create your own content. You have to play the game and record yourself, based on whatever style of content you're going for. Now, when it comes to how to create content, there's no way to learn it because whatever niche, like there's millions of niches, there's thousands of niches, right? So there's no like one way. But the way I learn how to create new content is I just look at what my competitors are doing and I try my best to copy and create their videos. You want to look at their videos, understand what they're doing, right? And then this is where I'm going to skip to the 3% method. Is I think Virgil said this, rest in peace, but he was like, you take something that's already great and you change it by 3%. That's it. So you take an already viral video that you see and you change it by 3%. We don't want to copy paste other people because you'll never succeed that way. But you want to see why this has worked for somebody, right? And then implement and learn from it. So if they're doing Roblox, okay. And here's the thing with Roblox, for example, a lot of you guys might not know how to play Roblox or do Roblox, whatever. That was me too till last year, okay? Thankfully, my brother is really good. So, he taught me, and I've learned everything about it. And in my community, there's like 5 to 6 different editing tutorials for specific Roblox styles of content. And a lot of people were able to just, go from not knowing anything about Roblox to actually learning and understanding it. But the point is with all these different niches, right? When you want to create the content, how do you create it? You look at what people are doing and you copy it to the best of your ability. Okay. So what that means is if you see ranking, okay, with ranking content, how does it work? If somebody's doing ranking the best baby moments, right? There's clips in the background, there's a title, there's text. Okay, how do I do that? If you have no idea how to edit at all, then what I'd say is go to YouTube. Watch tons of free tutorials, bro. Like, don't be lazy. There's so many free, simple editing tutorials. You just need to know the basics. After that, I'll tell you guys this. For how to create, okay, and how to edit, you're going to get better with time. That is 100%. Am I right? As long as you edit more videos, will you not only get better, right? As you start to copy more and like try new things, right? So when you start out, it might be a little messy, right? Maybe your first ranking video is going to be horrible, but then you'll notice, oh, your competitor, he adds transitions. If you don't know how to add transitions, you go to ChatGPT or you go to Google, how to add transitions CapCut. You watch, you learn, you implement. You do that with enough time, you'll understand the basics and you'll become a good editor. So then when you see a good new niche, right? Like if it's commentary, it's a little bit more editing. You'll know because, okay, this guy's cutting it here. He's adding a sound effect here. He's adding an arrow here. Oh, okay. How does he add time frames? How do you how do you make something like go in smoothly, whatever. And you just learn as you do. There's no one solution for this. But in terms of software, I would say CapCut is the most beginner friendly and the best one when it comes to YouTube Shorts. It has more than enough different tools and different features that will help you. So that's what I would say. Learn, study, watch as much free content, when it comes to editing if you need that. But if you have basic editing skills, just get straight into it. It's not, your first video is going to be horrible. It's not going to be perfect. Every video, just implement one new thing, make it a little bit better. And in a month, 2 months, you'll be really, really good at editing. Then it's just a matter of applying those skills to the right niche. That's it. Now, understanding good and bad content. There's so much slop out there, and a lot of you guys, a lot of people, you know, even when they join my community or just that I see in general, like posting, bro, it's just garbage, bro. You guys have to understand this. You can't, like, I know you might see a lot of people reposting stuff, or like, oh, they just copy a speed clip and then they post that. Number one, there's since it's so easy, and people think it's you know, you could get monetized and do well like that. There's millions. It's so saturated and competitive of just garbage like clips, the same clip recycled, and you're not gonna get monetized, right? Because to get monetized, your content has to be original. You're not Speed, unless you're watching Speed, then hit me up. But you're not Speed, so it's not original and it's not transformative. If you take Speed's different clips and you edit them all together, you add captions, you add, you know, sound effects, background audio, you add some pop-ups, effects, XYZ, and you make a commentary video like why Speed is the slowest person on the planet, that'd be a viral video. I don't know. Then it's transformative. Okay, so good content, like I said, is something that is transformative and original. First things first. Okay. Number two, something that's faceless, right? We want something that's faceless because we can actually apply it. I'd say something that is consistently going viral, and it checks those three markers. Okay, the transformative means that somebody's taking something that's original and added their own elements to it. With ranking, it's a very thin line. Okay. But with other things, you'll see, like, for example, the Speed example, if you see just a clip of Speed, which is just a clip of his stream, don't just try to repost those and be like, oh, it's been 3 months, why am I not blowing up? But if you see somebody who's doing a fully edited, like, Speed video, different clips, different captions, XYZ, that's a good piece of content, okay? And as you start to, like, do more YouTube and watch more videos about YouTube Shorts and see other people, you'll start to understand, like, what type of content is good and bad. This is just, like, personal discretion that you learn over time. So don't worry, don't overthink it. These are just things you learn as time goes on, naturally, okay? And this is, like, very important when it comes to good content in a good niche. These are just messages I've gotten from people over the time. Look at this. 5 days he got his first 1 million views because he was in a really good niche, right? Even with this person. He just got monetized, so just some shout outs for some people. This is just, the point of this is to show you guys how important it is to choose the right sort of niche and the right content, essentially, okay? 3% method, we already talked about it. If you see somebody going viral, doing something, right? Let's say somebody's video went viral for ranking the best trampoline moments, okay? You want to take that idea because it just went viral. All you want to do, your 3% method could be using a different hook, right? Changing the text, whatever. Like, just studying their piece of content and then seeing, okay, how can I make this better? And then that's it. And a lot of times you'll notice that is exactly how people go viral again and again. Something that goes viral once usually goes viral again, right? So anyways, that was that. Okay, now going on to understanding stats, something that a lot of you guys care about, okay? So the main stats are retention, swipe rate, and engagement. So what is retention? Retention is essentially the average view duration, okay? So how long did you retain somebody on your video? So for example, this short was only 5 seconds long, but the average view duration was 9 seconds, which means, you know, for the most part, most people watched it 2 times over or 3 times over, right? And it averaged out to about 9 seconds, which is 192%, which is obviously insane, but the short is super short, so it doesn't really matter because it's obviously very easy to get high retention on shorts. This is a little bit longer. This is 9 seconds. Again, still 146, but this is more realistic. A 26-second short, but it has a 105% retention, which is really, really good. Now, in my opinion, the number of retention, I've seen so many understandings about it. Like, some people say you have to have over 100%. Some people say 80% is good. It all depends. If you're uploading, you know, if somebody's uploading a 10-second short compared to a minute short, you can't really use the same, I guess, scale to judge it. But like getting like 80% on a 1-minute short is, I would say, pretty good, right? But getting 80% on like a 15-second short is not the greatest. So I would say on average, let's just take this. Like, this is really good. I'd say if your short is 20 to 30 seconds long, you want to aim for over 100%, okay? And then your chart is the best way to study it. Okay, every time if you don't have good retention, go look at this chart and see where you messed up. Like for me, this is a pretty good consistent chart. This is a problem right here. I don't recall what this was, this little dip at the end, but most likely it was a CTA or something and people clicked off, or I just let the clip run a little too long. So going forward, I'll cut it right here. So that way I won't lose the extra like 10% here, but instead, since I cut the video before the dip, the video will replay, and then when it replays, remember, that's already over 100%. I guarantee you, if I didn't have that, my retention would have been like 150%. Okay, just an example. Now, what is swipe rate? Swipe rate is basically within the first 3 seconds, how many people decide to stay to watch and how many people swipe away. So this is one of my craziest swipe rates. This short has over 1 million views, and I actually was sharing the progress of this swipe rate on my TikTok like 2 months ago. But basically, out of those million people that watched that video, 98% almost of them decided to stay and continue watching it. That is an insane 1 out of 1 million, really good metric. And this is like my best one, but so I just decided to share with you guys. But on average, you want to aim for like a good swipe rate. Again, it's same with retention. Actually, swipe rate I would say is a little bit different, but like I like to aim for like 85 plus. 85 is like really good. And your swipe rate essentially ties into like your hook, right? Because the first 3 seconds is your hook, or your anti-hook. Like how good is your hook? And this is where a lot of people mess up. They'll make up the good short, very viral idea. Everything's good, viral potential, but then their hook will be so bad that the rest of the short won't matter. If you can't get them hooked in the first 2 to 3 seconds, it doesn't matter how good the rest of the video is. Okay, so these are, again, I'm just going in a little bit detail with retention as well. You just want to have a good video throughout, right? If you have a lot of times people just like have one part, like the video's like 20 seconds is really good and the last 10 seconds are so unnecessary, but if it's still there, that's going to destroy your retention, because after the 20 seconds, after the good part, people will click away. And again, there's so many ways to improve this. I've made videos on my YouTube as well for free. You guys can go watch on how to improve your retention, swipe rate. I don't want to get into too much detail because I actually decided, again, I'm very obsessed with the winner circle, which is my private community, and I want to take it to a whole nother level this month. This year. I would say it's probably the fastest growing YouTube community, if I'm not mistaken. However, I just want to take it to a whole nother level. So I asked a bunch of people in my community, what could I do? Right now, there's tons of information, but I don't have something that's like A to Z. You literally go in order and you can go from a complete beginner to end. But there's enough information if you are a beginner to start making money. But I wanted to make it more structured. So I'm actually going to be releasing basically like that, what I'm doing now, like a guide, but an actual in-depth, like every single thing, like a video for retention, a video for swipe rate, engagement, literally everything over the next few weeks, maybe next few months. So that's going to be super, super, super cool. So anyways, that's something where I'm going to share that, but I'm going to continue dropping free value on my YouTube as usual. So anyways, that's that. So engagement, another thing. This is your likes and your comments, okay? As I've been uploading more and more, I've noticed that engagement actually does play a good amount of role, and YouTube actually cares about engagement. So there's different ways to go about engagement, whether that's liking or comments, or likes or comments. And a lot of the most common way is like a CTA, right? Now this could be like, if you're doing commentary, it's like, before this happens, be sure to like or subscribe. Or if you've probably seen this one, but it's like, if you love your mom. I don't really like those ones, but it all depends on your niche, the way you want to go about increasing engagement. Well, when you're increasing your engagement, don't do it in the starting, because you'll ruin your swipe rate, because nobody wants to watch a video that starts with like the video. Okay. Number two, don't ruin your retention. Don't put it like at the end, because by then, whatever the interesting part was, it already had happened. Put it right before the climax, the drop. And that's essentially what I have to say for engagement. But don't overthink this. If you're starting out, I would say these are more important. And then the last one, dude, I could go on and on about this. So many people overthink this. Again, just based off what messages I've gotten from members in my community, they're always like, my retention's so good, my swipe rate's so good. Why am I not going viral? The most important metric, which people overlook, the idea. Okay, guys, listen. You could have the most goated stats, but if you have a short that is in a niche, or it's about something that nobody gives a shit about, your idea is horrible, the video will not do good. Okay, this is my whole perspective. Okay, now it's gotten to the point where I don't even force stats. I don't really like stat max. I essentially just focus on making the best video with the most viral idea, and as a result, I get good stats. Okay, I guess there's a good perspective shift, because it's so hot in here, by the way, but your idea is the most important thing. If you have an idea that millions of people care about, for example, the whole Venezuela and Trump thing, there's so many people that went super viral, even if they didn't have the best videos or the stats, because that whole topic was so popular. There's so many people that wanted to know about it, wanted to watch content related to it. Okay, so follow the idea, follow the trend. You guys, we saw this last year with Ashton Hall, 6'7", brain rot, a bunch of shit. The idea is the number one thing. If you create good content with a good idea, right, in a viral niche, you will 100% naturally get good stats. I'm telling you from firsthand, okay? So just please focus on the idea. It's the most important metric, in my opinion. And I guess this is something that could get you success a lot quicker. A lot of people in the starting mess up because they pick a bad niche, and they're making not viral focus, or not a good idea content, and they're just so focused on retention and swipe rate that they don't get results, right? Just focus on the idea. Please look at what's working, look at what's going viral for others, and try to implement it, incorporate it into your content. Okay, moving forward, we're already approaching the 45-minute mark. Before we go to part 3, this is laying bricks, I want to give you guys 5 valuable lessons that I've learned. Number 1, don't overcomplicate it, okay? A lot of you guys, when you get into a new business model, especially YouTube, you overcomplicate it. Let's break it down. Let's keep it simple. How do we make money? You post videos, you get views, you make money, right? Is that not it? Okay, cool. How do we make a lot of money? Well, you got a lot of views. Cool. How do you get a lot of views? You make really good videos in a viral niche. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't, again, going back to like, what time should I post? When should I schedule it? Oh, okay, my retention is so good. Why did my video not do well? Don't waste time overthinking. Just spend that time to learn and to create and to continue doing more. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys this one thing in my whole life. What I've noticed is the more you put in, the more you get out, right? Inputs equal outputs, right? If somebody's uploading 1 time a day compared to somebody uploading 10 times a day, I'm sure we can all place a bet on the guy that's uploading 10 times a day, as long as they're following the same rules, obviously, right? Like, not like where one guy's uploading the best videos ever and the 10 guys uploading dog shit. That's not what I'm saying. But if they're both using the same strategy, naturally doing more will get you quicker to your results and get you more results, okay? So don't overcomplicate it. Just start. That's the main thing. As you start and do more, and you'll understand, you'll learn naturally. I learned everything that I know for completely free by just doing, by not overcomplicating, just taking action and just doing it. I watched a bunch of free videos on YouTube, and I just, whatever information I had, I just started. And problems are normal. You're gonna come across problems. Don't avoid them. Learn from them. Okay. This is my favorite one. Consistency beats everything, dude. You've heard it. You guys have all heard this time and time again. Consistency is everything. And it is. I wouldn't have been in my life. I wouldn't be where I am today in my life. Let's go back here for a second. If the version of me right here, if this little boy, if he wasn't consistent, if this person right here getting 2,000 subscribers when he was 14 years old, if he didn't be consistent, over the past 10 years, everything he's achieved, all of this, he wouldn't have been able to do any of this. I've faced so many downfalls. I didn't talk about any negative stuff here, but last year, by the way, I lost this channel, lost 5 other monetized channels, dude. Like, there's I don't even want to go into negative stuff, but there's so many problems that will come, and I'm not saying, I don't want you guys to feel like bad for me or anything like that. I'm not saying it to anything like that. I'm just saying it to point out that you're gonna go through shit. You're gonna fail, dude. But as long as you stay consistent, okay, read this. Consistency beats everything. Okay, you just show up every single day. You fail, it's all cool. Everything happens for a reason, right? And I made a video about this, but just to give you a little bit more in depth, how will you ever learn to deal with problems if you don't face them? If I didn't lose a channel, how would I ever know how to deal with the loss of a channel? Whether that's mentally, whether that's actually, physically. How do I know that I have to send an appeal like this? I have to go to Twitter to reach out support. I have to potentially get a lawyer. Like, you don't learn shit until you face it. Okay, so my most important thing is consistency beats everything. Even if you upload, and I've seen this through my channels. There's one channel that I specifically remember. I uploaded 95 days on it. Didn't get a viral video. Around the 95 to 100 day mark, got one video that got over 10 million views and got my channel monetized. And it was in the ranking niche. This is from like probably 8 months ago, but dude, 95 days of consistency. Every day, improving, getting better, not seeing any results, just mid, view jail, boom. One short takes off, channel is monetized. That's it. That's all it takes. Consistency beats everything. And in you being consistent and showing up every day, you're only getting better. And as you be consistent and your skill set gets higher, your time frame and your results will get, your time frame will get smaller and your results will get bigger. It's literally that simple. Okay, next. The first 3 seconds decide the outcome. This is, again, me referring back to the hook. If you don't have a good hook, if your first 3 seconds are horrible, people don't want to watch your video, then your video is not going to do good. If you can make a banger hook, you can get them interested right away, then, and your video is good, then naturally you'll get a high swipe rate, you'll get high retention, and you'll get people that actually watch the video, and naturally you'll get more views and make more money. Okay? Outsourcing buys time, not success. A very big misconception, a lesson that I learned myself. I thought, hey, once I get to this point, I'll just outsource and boom. That wasn't the case. When I hired my editor at first, I was just paying him a flat fee, to upload, to make shorts, and that channel wasn't doing anything. It wasn't giving me the success I wanted. Okay? However, when I outsourced, now it's different. I have a revenue split. So the editor actually gets a percentage of the channel's, total net profit. So that way he's incentivized to do better, right? But my point with this is, you outsourcing and getting an editor or whatever, even me doing that, it's not going to at all like get you more money or get you more success. But what it does is it gives you more time. Now, what you do with this time is what's important. And I personally, what I do and what I'd recommend you guys all do is reinvest that time into your business, into starting more channels, right? Into whatever else you're doing, if you're doing something else, if you want to, whatever, like whatever it is, I know it's different for everybody, just do more, but put that time back towards yourself, bettering your business, and making more money. Don't waste it doing shit just because, okay, now I have a channel making 10K a month, I'm going to outsource it for $1,000 and I'm making $9,000 passively. It's not how it works. What happens if you lose that channel, right? You don't want to get lazy. You don't want to get complacent. And I'm telling you guys this from personal experience because I've done that and made those mistakes. So just remember, when you outsource, it's going to buy you more time. But I would say reinvest that time until you're genuinely at a point in life where it doesn't matter. Then you can truly chill. Now, next, detach from the numbers, bro. It's very important. A lot of you guys are too obsessed about every single view, every single video, every swipe rate, every percentage. It's good to be obsessed, honestly. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but detach your emotions from those numbers, okay? They're just numbers at the end of the day. I've had so many shorts do so well. Like, all my ones that have over 10 million views don't have, like, I have videos that have, or shorts that have over 10 million views with worse stats than shorts that get, like, view jailed, okay? So my point with this is don't add emotions to it, because emotions will get you to, I guess, act in different ways. Like, you might set a plan today that, hey, I'm going to upload a good short every single day for the next month. And then let's say a week later, you're looking at your numbers and you're like, damn, it's been a week and I only got 80K views. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you quit. But if you just detach that emotion from the numbers and you have that plan and you focus on that plan, you stick with that plan, number one, over the next 30 days, you're going to get a lot better. Number two, you have a lot higher chance of going viral because you're uploading 30 shorts compared to, 1 week's worth, right? And number three, you realize that it's bigger than, like, just what you see. Like, the numbers, like, dude, all the views, whatever, like, you can get 10 mil views today, you can get 0 tomorrow, right? So if you're so attached to the numbers, that's gonna mess you up mentally, and ultimately you won't be able to survive in business at all in general, right? Again, with money as well, if you're so attached to, I just want to make $1,000, oh, I just want to do, and you're putting that negative energy, you're like into, like, creating content, you're trying to revenue max, right? You're making your shorts, you got your channel monetized, now you're gonna upload 3-minute shorts because you want $100 RPM, but then nobody watches your shorts anymore because you're approaching it from the wrong perspective. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Just detach yourself from the numbers. Okay, be obsessed with creating good content and you will naturally get good numbers. That's it. I don't want to go more detail into that. I'm low-key getting tired because it's so hot. But anyways, now part 3. You see that? Part 1, the foundation. Part 2, the bricks. Part 3, the mansion. Okay? Now, number 1, how and when to scale. So this is, I guess, when, like, I guess I'll just read this, to be honest. So lock in on your stats. Don't scale if your numbers are weak. If you're not able to, like, average good retention, good swipe rate, good views, like, if you're just getting view jailed, obviously don't scale, dude. Like, you're so far away. Okay, number 2, build a repeatable system. This, again, was a mistake that I made. Now it's to the point where I don't have to do anything. For the channels that are outsourced, I don't do any of the work. The system is there, the niche is there, the editor is trained to know what to do, right? The content to make. So there's a system in place, right? There's the money. Here are my videos. They get posted. They get scheduled. I don't do anything for that content. So don't just have it where it's like something that's not repeatable. Essentially, you just want to get it to a point where, like, you can actually fully delegate this person, right? Or delegate this task to this person, because that's the whole point. We want to save the time so we can reinvest it somewhere else. Next, master channel number 1 before channel number 2. A lot of people, complete beginners, just get into it and are just trying to, like, start 50 different channels. It's not the right approach. I definitely recommend when you're starting, based on how much time you have, like, if you have an hour a day, then start 1 channel and master it. If you have 2-3 hours a day, then you could do 2 channels, right? But master both those channels before deciding to outsource or scale any channel. And with this, I was more referring to outsourcing. So, like, for example, if you get a channel monetized, don't just right away, okay, I'm gonna outsource it. No, you just got 1 channel. You could have gotten lucky, XYZ, there's 100 factors that come into play, and you're obviously, creating content for that channel up to this point. So continue doing that. Continue doing that channel, growing it, because what you're doing is working. But now start another channel. And when you start to see a little bit of results with that second channel, okay, now you can delegate this full first channel, right? And now you can focus on growing and maximizing channel 2. And then buy time, not shortcuts. Like I said, again, I've made that mistake. I thought, okay, I can just outsource it and I'm going to be printing GGs. That's not the case. There's no shortcut to this. You still have to do the work. Okay, there's still going to be problems. Videos are still not going to do well. You're still going to deal with, copyrights, whatever, like issues. Everybody has different problems. So focus on outsourcing and looking at it as a way of having more time to put back into your business to exponentially get results. Okay. Because again, you start 1 channel, you start another channel. Okay, 1 channel is monetized, it's doing good. Okay, I outsource it. Now I have more time. Now I'm going to put that time back into channel number 3. Now I'm grinding channel number 2, channel number 3. Channel number 1 is making me passive income. Okay, channel number 2 is monetized. I'm going to outsource this as well. Okay, now I have channel number 1 and 2 making me money, and I'm focused on channel number 3. And, like, now, okay, maybe I don't want to start channel number 4. I'm going to spend that time to go, hang out with my friends and go to the gym more, or whatever, right? We're buying time here. We're not trying to just like outsource and like, okay, like I'm going to start today is my first day of doing YouTube. I'm just going to hire an editor and I'm going to just make passive income. That's not how it works, okay? So again, just a little para here. Outsourcing isn't about doing less. It's about freeing yourself to focus on better content and long-term growth. Basically what I just said. So when you're ready to scale, the next move is finding an editor who can match your style and keep your channel bumping. So how to outsource and find good editors. Again, my experience, what has worked for me. And these are in order. Number 1 is Discord servers. That's where I have my editors from. I found them through Discord. There's 5 or 6 different good Discord servers that are, the best to use, in my opinion. It is a little bit of a process because there's so many editors. You have to kind of nitpick and talk to a lot of people, get a lot of samples until you find the perfect right one. But Discord's the best one. Next is onlinejobs.ph. This is where you can hire a Philippine like VA who usually knows editors. You can even hire an editor. Just like it's cheaper rates, but again, these people need, like, to them, they need a job, right? They're making 0, so making anything to them is better than nothing. And these people are hardworking, they're good. I haven't personally hired anybody off this, but I know a lot of people and I have a lot of friends who have used it. Next would be Twitter. Again, it's a little bit harder to find people on this, and this is a little bit more when you're looking for quality, but you'll definitely be able to find some good people on Twitter. And lastly is freelance sites. They're actually garbage. People charge like 50 times more than these options here. And for the same, if not worse, quality of work. So I wouldn't recommend Fiverr or anything like that. Discord's probably your best bet. Okay. Now, understanding revenue just a little bit into this. I don't want to go into too much depth. But what is RPM, which is the main metric when it comes to revenue? So RPM is what YouTube pays you for every 1,000 views. The higher it is, the more you make for the same views. So here's a little. This is my highest personal Roblox RPM that I got, which is super high. Now, again, let me actually go back here. So RPM is based on a bunch of different factors. Like people say, how do I get good RPM, which I'll get into in a second. Actually, you know what? Let's just go here. So RPM is, like I said, actually, let's go back here. How much YouTube pays for 1,000 views. So for example, this depends on your niche, okay? So if you're doing Roblox content, who's going to watch Roblox content? Kids, okay? Now, since RPM is what advertisers pay YouTube and then YouTube pays you, right? Do advertisers prefer kids watching their ads? No. Why? Because kids don't have that much money to spend. So naturally, YouTube is going to earn less from those advertisers, and then YouTube's going to pay you less, right? But let's say you're doing finance content about stocks or something. Naturally, RPM is going to be super high because who's going to watch stock-related videos? Old people that have money to invest in stocks, or, and then let's say some Weeble wants to run an ad. Obviously, Weeble's going to pay a lot because if people join their platform and trade on their platform, they're going to make more money, whatever. It's the whole thing that doesn't matter. The point is, let's focus on how to increase RPM, okay? Number 1 is pick a niche that pays. For example, skull edits, again, another popular niche. Very popular in third world countries because of how easy it is and how viral it is and how evergreen and global the content is. But that niche has a like 4 cent, 5 cent RPM, right? Again, depending on how long your videos are. Why? Because there's no commentary, so it appeals to everybody. So even people that are in countries where like super low money, whatever, like third world countries, they're going to be watching it, like a bunch of people, right? So naturally, advertisers will pay less because they want to pay more where people have more money to spend in like countries like America, Canada, UK, right? English voiceovers. This helps you target those countries. And lastly, target those top paying countries. Now, I do want to mention something important here because a lot of people, again, I've seen in my community, try to force this. Don't force high RPM, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, if you're uploading, I don't know, ranking content, right? Or, okay, maybe not ranking. Let's say you're doing skull edits, right? Now, skull edits, they're usually like music, beat drop, no commentary. Now, don't just try to forcefully add commentary onto skull edits just to get like 4 cents extra RPM, because in you doing that, you're sacrificing the quality and you're sacrificing the actual idea that already goes viral. So even though you'll get a higher RPM, you're going to get a lot less views. Obviously, there might be a good way to make it work, but my point with this is just pick a niche that pays, but don't focus on the RPM. I really want to point that out. Like, I have a bunch of Roblox channels now, and a lot of them don't have crazy RPMs. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to change my approach to how I make content, because sure, they don't have really good RPMs. So let's say I'm averaging 1 million views per short, right? So if I have a 10 cent RPM, 1 million engaged views, let's say, that's $100 per short, right? Which is not that much, right? But you guys might be like, oh, okay, I can just add English commentary. Now I'm going to get a 25 cent RPM, okay? Let's say I add English commentary. Well, guess what? The idea that was initially going viral for me, the idea that was working for me, getting me 1 million engaged views, now that I had English voiceover, it's not reaching all these people, and only 100,000 people like it, right? Now, just just because 100,000 people like it and I have a 25-cent RPM, guess what? I'm only making $25. So if I just stick with what's already going viral in my niche that I picked, right? And that's getting me the most amount of views, that's that. Okay. Like take everything I say with a grain of salt. Like obviously it varies from niche to niche. Some niches there might be a way to increase your RPM like logically. So in some, like for some Roblox content you guys might have seen, for example, there's commentary Roblox where there's voiceovers, and that's where I had this from. It's a 40-cent RPM from a 40-50 second like commentary Roblox short, which is really high and really good. So that's a little bit about RPM. Okay. So we're coming near the end of this video. It's a long video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are watching this. I had no plan. I just wanted to put something out there that could help a lot of you guys and potentially most of you guys, you know, change your life, right? Change the path of your life, whether that's YouTube related or even just mindset related. That's why I've been trying to here and there, you know, talk to you guys a little bit about that, because people in my community have loved that as well. In our weekly calls, we've had a lot of talk just about life in general, because what if YouTube goes to shit tomorrow, right? That doesn't mean you guys are going to change your goal. I'm sure you guys have the same goals as me, a bunch of supercars, time freedom, money freedom, right? Just being able to do that shit. Just because YouTube goes away doesn't mean I'm going to change my goals, right? So that's why it's very important to, I guess, implement the right mindset, and naturally you'll get better results. But anyways, let's get into the last section and the most important section, okay? So these are the things I would do. Number one is I would pick one niche and master it. I would start by finding the best niche possible and just get really fucking good with it. That's exactly what I did. When I started my first channel on YouTube Shorts, it completely failed after 3 to 4 months. And I realized that I wasn't making good content and I was in a bad niche. I actually had a self-realization and I purposely quit that channel. And then I decided that, hey, I'm going to pick a better niche and make good content. And I even documented it all. And you guys saw that whole thing. It's on my YouTube. Like I said, that was that Ranking Mamba channel. At the time, I was pretty early to the ranking niche. There were still a bunch of people, but not as much as there is now. And I mastered the ranking niche. And that's why I was able to make, you know, over 5 figures in like the first month of monetization after 2 months of starting, which is crazy. So lock in one niche with proven viral demand and stay there until I crack the formula. Because once you understand how to go viral with one niche, it's just a matter of replicating that across different niches, okay? Now, focus on only hooks and retention. I wouldn't overcomplicate it. Look at every different number, every stat. So this is my logic. If the hook stops the scroll and people watch till the end, YouTube will push your video. Everything else is noise, right? Everything else like doesn't matter. If you're able to have a good hook and people are going to stop, right? And they're going to watch your content. And if you have good retention and a good video and they watch all the way to the end, in a good niche already, remember that, you're naturally just going to get good results. Like that's really it. No overcomplicating, okay? I would test across multiple channels, okay? Now what I mean by this, I know it's kind of contradicting picking one niche, but what I mean by this is, like, I noticed that I started to get more success when I started to do more, okay? So instead of, you know, overthinking one channel, if one channel is not doing good and I'm just obsessing over it, I'd start a few channels and post different styles as fast as I can, right? Volume is the game here. As much volume as I can, right? So the goal is to find what sticks. One might flop, another might take off, right? Now, this is be very careful with this. I know we're all in different situations. You guys might not have 4 or 5 hours a day. You might be in school. You might have a job, right? So if you have just enough time to do one channel, just focus on one, get good with it. And then if you have that same realization that I did initially, that like, hey, okay, I you know, when I started, I was really bad at YouTube. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know what niches and all this stuff was. Hey, but I've been doing this channel for a month and 2 months now. And now I'm really good at editing. And I've realized my niche is not good. And then, you know, naturally you'll see another niche and you're like, oh, wait, this niche is really good. And now your skills are there. Then you implement them to the new niche and then boom. But if you have time, if you're just sitting at home, you're whatever, right? Then 100% use all your time, bro. Like there's a point where I was running like 8 channels. Just fucking grinding, okay? Because if out of those 8 channels, even one takes off, all it takes is one. We know that. All it takes is one. If you go back, dude, just go back to this channel. It's one channel is making 9.4K in the last 28 days. All it takes is that's great. I'm sure a lot of you guys would be happy with that, okay? So, where are we? Right over here. So, yeah, just do as much as you can is my advice here, okay? Reinvest everything into scaling. So as soon as I start to make good money, I'd put it back into editors and tools, right? There's a lot of tools that help. So for example, maybe you start with CapCut for free, but once you get monetized, CapCut Pro is really good, right? That's something I use and basically everybody uses because you get so many more features. So you want to put that money right back into it. And again, editors, we went into outsourcing as well. But a little bit more information. Scaling is about buying back time so I can focus on ideas and strategies instead of grinding edits. And I'm literally currently reading a book called Buy Back Your Time, right? Because time is ultimately the most important part. So we're at the position I'm in now where it's like, dude, if I was spending all my time editing videos, I could maybe run 1 channel, 2 channels, but I'm able to run so many channels, right? Because I spend my time coming up with ideas and finding good niches and just being like, okay, dude, like sending my editor, hey, we're doing this. Can I get content for this tomorrow? That's literally exactly actually what happened yesterday. From one new niche I came across, I literally messaged him. He said, let me get back to you. And today he told me, okay, we can start from tomorrow. That's it. That's literally it, right? So it's at a point where like I have the time now to focus on expanding, right? Because even if, okay, and this is another thing, people underestimate having like just channels that are consistent but and very easy. Like if you have a channel that makes you like $2,000 a month cost and you outsource it for $500 a month, $1,500 doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? And it isn't. However, $1,500 passively is enough to, get you to start 3 more channels, right? Reinvest that money back in. And then when you have 4 channels now, even if they're doing 2K each, well, there you go. $8,000 is a lot of fucking money, okay? And lastly, most importantly, I joined the winner circle. Why? I wouldn't waste times and months guessing. Honestly, it took me 5 months to crack the code. I did it all on my own. However, what I do now is I plug straight into a community of creators who already know the game, and that's exactly why I built the Winner Circle, which is my private mentorship community where I share essentially everything. As you guys see, these are literally the results I went over. These are just some results within the last 30 days. Keep that in mind, okay? These are all people that are in my community. You can go message them if you don't believe me. But I just want to quickly go over essentially what is a part of the Winner Circle. You don't have to join. Of course, there's so many other great communities for YouTube, etc. But if you made it this far and you like me and you want to learn from me directly, here's a little bit of what you will get in the Winner Circle. So you get 24/7 direct mentorship from me. So you can literally DM me anytime on WAP at all, and I'll reply to everybody. You can ask people. That's why they love being in the Winner Circle. I'm always giving personal feedback to everybody. We have weekly group calls. These are probably my favorite part of the week. This is probably my favorite part of the week. Personal feedback on video scripts and ideas. We have a section specifically for video reviews, so you get your video reviewed and you can implement those fixes right away. There's appeal scripts, a ranking, content, commentary, and Roblox. Now as you start to progress in your journey and get monetized, nowadays it's very common to get hit with reused content, right? And there's a bunch of appeal scripts in the WAP that you get access to, so you can literally use these scripts, and they currently have around an 80% success rate. Over 40 people have used, so that's a pretty good success rate. 1 out of 5 people win their appeal, especially for ranking, since that's the most challenging one. At the moment, there's like 5+ in-depth Roblox editing tutorials, because that's mainly what we've been cooking with, and is honestly probably one of the best niches to get into. But there's a big learning curve, and a lot of people in my community were very curious about Roblox since they had no idea. So I made full in-depth tutorials where you can literally copy paste everything. There's a bunch of exclusive YouTube Shorts content, like 25 to 30 plus videos. Plus, I'm adding so many more every week now that I'm doing this full mastermind, but in super detailed. So I'm adding content as time goes on. There's a bunch of weekly lessons and updates. We're actually currently doing or we've been doing for the past few months, a bi-weekly cash prize winner, where we literally, if you share your win in the wins chat, like any win, it could be like you getting your first 1,000 views. It doesn't have to be a crazy win. When we have our weekly call, we spin a wheel and the winner gets a cash prize. There's a bunch of resources, there's templates, tools, like literally any other thing you might need. There's a niche list that I update every single week, so it has like 10 to 20 plus niches currently that are going super viral, so you can literally find a niche from there. You don't have to waste time, and you can get started. And obviously it's a private community. The best part about this whole thing is, yes, this is all amazing, but you're in a community with other people doing the same thing with the same goals, and I'm telling you how valuable that really is. Okay, and I'm telling you, the reason I was so hyped about this whole thing is because even when I was in sales, right, being around people like-minded, facing the same problems I am, right? Getting crazy results, it's different, right? Like sometimes you might be struggling, you're like, damn, this isn't working out, I'm gonna quit, because you're alone. But let's say you're feeling the same way, but you go to the wins chat in our private community and you see somebody, he's like, hey, 2 months later, now I just made my first $1,000. You're gonna be so much more motivated, and like, you're seeing somebody else do what you want to do. So it's a whole different thing. But essentially, if you go through everything, you'll learn how to properly edit YouTube Shorts. Okay, you're gonna understand how I format and editing my ranking content, which is ultimately the first niche where I made my 10K, which I showed you guys. I don't want to go back up there. The surprise is coming, by the way, so just wait up. How I create Roblox content, so I even show in-game, going into the game and actually showing you the editing process. How you can be early to niches and trends, which is very important to capitalize on. Like if you're late, like if a niche is going viral 3 months ago and you started today, there's already going to be millions of videos about it. But how do you be early to these niches? How are you early to certain trends? How to escape the YouTube view jail, which is a very, very common thing that a lot of you guys will deal with. How to increase retention, how to boost swipe rate. You get the point. You guys can read it. Okay, and people will charge you thousands of dollars for this. Like literally, there's so many people that charge thousands of dollars for just stuff like this. Okay, however, so if you are interested, there's a monthly option. Okay, the link for that will be in my bio, but there's a surprise for those of you guys who have made it to the end. Okay, so for those of you who watch till the end, there's something special about you. I actually wrote this message myself, all of it, literally 30 minutes ago, or actually before I started recording, and I was just like, how do I phrase this right? If you really watch this whole 1 hour video, there's already something special about you. Why would you sit here watching me talk for an hour long? Okay, It's because you're actually serious about changing your life, learning, and winning, right? You're watching this because you want to get as much value as you can, and you want to learn as much as you can so you can apply it, you can create content, you can make money and change your life. Am I right? Yes, okay. You're serious about making money and mastering the skills of YouTube Shorts. Of course, that's what we're doing. So I've decided to do something special, and I've decided to give 10 of you something special, okay? Again, it would be too hectic if it was unlimited, and I've made that mistake before. I used to have a discount back in the day, and I didn't put any cap on it, and like 100 people joined, and it got pretty hectic. So this is only for the next 10 people. If you guys use the code blueprint on the one-time option, which is something I added literally 3 days ago, because a lot of people that are in my community have been there for so long, like a couple of months, and they were just like, can you just add a one-time option instead of us just, you're doing the monthly thing? And I was like, you know what? I hear you guys. So I've done it, okay? So you will receive 25% off that with the blueprint code, okay? And you get access to everything that I just mentioned, everything that's already there, and everything I will continue to add inside the winner circle forever. Okay, and the rate for the one-time option is going to increase as I add more, because obviously there's going to be more value. So in a month from now, it might cost double what it costs from now, right? If I add a bunch of more stuff, but you're gonna get, if you get access to it today, you're gonna keep that access forever for everything. And here's the crazy part actually, and I just thought about this. This actually might be a money glitch for a lot of you guys. Since we do the cash giveaways every 2 weeks, you can literally make more money just winning the giveaways. Like think about that. And there's usually not a lot of people. There's usually like 20 people. So you can literally make more money with the giveaways, and the giveaways are getting crazy. The prize money is going to increase, and I'm going to add some more like physical products. Be pretty cool. Maybe like AirPods, shoes. I don't know. So anyways, that's the end or the start for a lot of you guys on this journey. I'm going to spend the next 2-3 minutes just quick going over this whole thing. I just want you guys to know, dude, it's possible, man. Anything you guys decide, any dream, any vision you have, it's possible. I am just like all of you. I am just a kid. Well, not a kid anymore, but I was once just a kid with big dreams, big goals, and just this feeling inside him that he could do it, that he could actually do the things that he dreams about. But it's so hard when you're around people, your friends, your family, normal people who don't think it's possible, who thinks it's luck or it's fake or whatever, right? There's so much of that out there. Guys, I'm so blessed by God to, be in this position that I'm in. Dude, like, I'm so far. If you see my vision board, by the way, behind me, supercars, crazy traveling, crazy shit, right? Those are my ultimate goals, and I'm gonna get there. But it's so important that you appreciate the progress. This is me working my 9 to 5, right? Look how happy I was. I knew it, bro. I knew I was gonna do it. This is me, door to fucking door. Okay, and then this is me finally things just compound and progress and start to take results. And here's me, and this is my car right now, and I'm just so grateful. Cars, if you couldn't tell already, has been my goal, my biggest motivation. I don't care about anything else. I could literally give a fuck about clothes, jewelry, anything else. I just care about having, not having, but I really want a car. And one of my goals this year is to buy an M4 competition, move to like downtown, and just, anyways, my point with all of this is all of you guys watching this right now are capable of achieving great things. I think the ultimate way to succeed, or the ultimate one thing needed, is to just have the most undeniable, unwavering amount of self-belief. You need to believe in yourself so fucking much, bro. It doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter what anybody else says. I'm sorry for swearing, by the way. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. As long as you believe in yourself, anything is possible. When I was a kid and I was doing this Fortnite stuff, none of my friends believed in me. None of them. Okay, it was funny. It was a joke. It was cringe. Whatever. Okay, I believed in myself. I kept going. I kept failing. By the way, this channel, my first channel that got monetized, my Fortnite stuff that I was doing 100K long form views a day with, I ended up getting hacked. Another setback. Guess what? We keep pushing. Okay, so my point with all this is, you're all capable of so much more than you guys think, man. As humans, we have unlimited potential. And you have one life, bro. Why not live it chasing your dreams? Why not do everything you want to do? Why not? Why not try? Why not live your life trying at least? Why just give up, bro? Okay, why, dude? Like, why? Why would you guys do that? I don't want this video to be a motivational video because I do a lot of those already. But I just want you guys to know that you have all the information. There's enough. I promise you, there's enough information that you heard today, that you've seen, that you learned, that you can go and at least create something. And I promise you, something is better than nothing. I've learned that. My first short, do you think it was good? It was dog shit. My first channel was dog shit. 4 months, 100+ shorts, all dog shit. Garbage. But guess what? I learned. I grew. I built consistency. I built good habits. That's what I'm so focused on right now. I read every day, and this is something I've been doing over the past year, right? That's why I'm doing the 75 hard. I'm on day 23. There's people in my community. Shout out to Elliot. Shout out to Diddler that are doing shout out to Lucas that are doing the 75 hard with me because they've realized they want to better their life. It's not just about YouTube. This day traders will tell you this as well. It's not about what you do on the charts. It's about what you do off the charts, right? Everything is mindset. Everything is mentality. If you approach YouTube from desperation, anything with desperation, you're not going to get the results you want, right? But if you structure your life, you change your life, you build good habits, you be consistent with those habits, they compound. Look at me, dude. I'm not saying shit out of my ass. Look at my life change. Okay, look at this is not fucking AI, bro. This is me. Tell us, bro. Look, it's a telecom company. Google it if you don't believe me. Okay, Fido, right here. Google it. Another telecom company. I've gone through this shit, bro. So I'm just so focused on bettering myself, growing, helping others, bro. My biggest dream, and if you know me and you've heard me before, you know my biggest dream, aside from all the money, because I know I will get it, I know I will achieve all of that, has been always to inspire and motivate tons of you guys. That's why I'm posting this video. So this information, it's free. All of this, you don't have to join the winner circle. You don't have to pay for anything. You can start today. You can get a channel monetized. You can start making money and change your whole life today with all this free information. And as long as you, and I've gotten hundreds of messages, so shout out to you guys that have messaged me, that my free content has helped them change their life. That is all, bro. That makes me so happy and gives me that motivation and fulfillment that keeps me going and helps me succeed more as well. So by me succeeding more, helping you guys succeed more, win. And that brings me to my conclusion. That is why, if you win and I win, that's how we create the winner's circle. A little backstory before we end this video. The reason why it's called the winner's circle, this was the actual name I came up for my sales team when I was in sales. And I thought about this. I was like, I saw other teams, the leader, the whatever you want to call him, the guy who runs the team would be doing amazing, but everybody else would be beginners, and then they wouldn't be doing too good. And I didn't like that, dude, because I at the time I was that guy. I was a part of somebody's team, and I don't like how leaders and these people operate. So I was like, you know what? I want my team to be different. I want it to be a friendly brotherhood kind of thing, where it's like we are all winners, the winner's circle. As a group, we are all winners. A winner is, your results don't determine if you're a winner or not. Who you are determines if you're a winner or not. Results come and go, bro. You see people all the time who have supercars, lose them the next day. That doesn't make somebody go from a winner to a loser. You might not have the cars today, you might not have the money today, but if you inside believe that you're a winner, you're doing the right things, dude, you're already so much further than most people. And that's why I decided to call my group the Winner Circle. You can ask anybody in my community, anybody that comes to all the calls. They know how it is. They know how it is. We're literally like we're friends, bro. Those guys, the Winner Circle is it's like my heart, bro. I love everybody in there. I'm doing my best to make it the best community on the planet. Anyways, enough, man. Enough. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be posting a lot more free content on my YouTube, of course, and trying to help you guys as much as I can, and on my TikTok as well. But if you made it to the end, I really would appreciate it if you guys can go ahead, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, which would be kind of weird. I mean, come on, guys. Look at this cute guy, bro. Hit the subscribe button and comment 2026 down below. I know this is going to be the greatest year of my life. I already know it, and it could be yours too. You just have to decide. It's just a choice. It's not like I know something's gonna happen. There's no promise or I haven't seen the future, but I just know. I have this feeling, okay? And I know, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure it is. So I encourage you guys, let this be your year, bro. Let this be your year that your life changes. Last year in January, I had nothing. Last year in January was when this happened. I lost this sales job. This is before this period right here, this gap right here. I lost this sales job. I went back to making $0 a month. That's when I started to build this. But before this happened, for 4 months, I had nothing. Go watch my YouTube video, the 2 videos before, where it's like, I made this I recorded a video in December 2024 when I had nothing. I had $0. I changed my life in a year, bro. All this is all last year, by the way. 1 year, dude. Going from this to this. And it could be you too. I am nobody special. I'm nobody different. I'm just somebody who works so hard, who believes in himself, and he never gives up. That's it. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you boys in the next video. As always, stay hard.